I have an appointment this morning at early, so I decided to use my time wisely and just have a conversation about the final day of the DNC 2024. Now, the headlines was out, and I was looking for the grand finale. I was looking for the grand finale, and TMZ was reporting, all the outlets was reporting that there were going to be official surprise, and there's a curtain up, there's a big curtain up, and there's going to be a surprise. And I was sitting there waiting for the surprise to happen, but the surprise never came. The endorsers that came to the party were superstars, but there were no megastars, no Beyonce, no Taylor Swift. Everybody that was a part of the operation was either an entertainer, an actor, Hollywood. Good morning, good morning, good morning to you. An actor from Hollywood, and there was no climax. Top of the morning, pop villain. That's what I'm talking about. Pop villain in the building. So look, I got some this morning, just decided to just jump on. I'm outside of the studio. I got an appointment, but the DNC from last night, Kamala Harris, put her her life on the line, shit out there for the people. But in terms of a climatic situation, it didn't happen. And like I said, I'm a nonpartisan independent. This was the reception, the wedding, the honeymoon is over. Now it's time to get the business, because all of the promises that Kamala made, all of the promises and the things that she talked about, we've been witnessing this for for 4 years, every 4 years. Like, everybody over here. And then we go over there and we like, okay, now what? Then 4 years go by, and then it's time to vote again. And then, we're moving over here, everybody over here. The next thing you know, time's up. There's another 4 years, and then they get to pandering. And now they talking about we not going back. We're not going back. And I'm sitting back, okay, if we're not going back and we keep what we want to move forward, my question is, party, not the people, where are we going? What's the destination? Okay, like I said, we've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, and this is why we're running amok. So now as people, we got to tap outside of that two-party system together as a people and make some educated decisions to do what's right, because there's some unfinished business that we got to handle as a people. Okay, because we're moving forward. Okay, we're moving forward. Okay, but where are we going? We're moving far away from God. And then number two, with this whole situation, why didn't her blended family go on the stage last night? That's my question. Why did the blended family not go on stage last night? And before I left this morning, I got an appointment in about 20 minutes. I just wanted to jump on because I had this on my mind. But why did not the blended family, why they didn't get that photo op? The photo op came at the end, which was not of the DNC, conference, which stands for do not consider or do not care. She basically just her husband, Doug, Tim Walz, and his wife. And that's the end they sent out to the world. Why did she not bring her blended family? Because her sister has a black chocolate brother as a husband. She have little biracial nieces, but they didn't want to send that picture and that message to the world of a blended black family on the stage. But we do know without a shout, she not black. And if you got an issue, you want to debate that, throw it in the comments, because ABC said, and Bill Maher, ABC said, oh, this can be the first American, Asian American to be Asian American don't translate to black American. African American in the United States translates to black. So she could be the first Asian American. Okay. And then number two, what happened to her sorors, her AKAs and the Deltas and the Q? What happened to that? Nobody's basically showing up. So what I mean is, this is a situation where it looks good, it sounds good, but when it comes to the support is not there. Me, I sat there and was conned hoodwinked by social media, by TMZ, and TMZ put out an apology morning about this special guest. I'm thinking Beyonce about to come out with Taylor Swift. But what did we get? We didn't get nothing, okay? We did nothing. All we got is some empty promises of the first Asian American to be the nominee for the Democratic Party. Somehow, some way, they didn't even bring her blended family on the stage. What are we doing? So this is why I understand a lot of my family members, my friends, they don't want to talk about politics, but we don't have to talk about politics, but we are carving out our own lane. We are calling out our own people. We are coming together and working together for humanity. If you didn't know, you are tuned into A Better Black America TV. Black is an acronym for Black, Latin, Asian, Caucasian, kinship. And we all on the same squad. And when they sit back and say, we want to keep moving forward, they're moving far away from the original plan of the black man. Because it was a day and time where black men was in charge, black men was running their communities, and we got hijacked. And when you saw the DNC last night, and they wore white dresses, and that was for the women's suffrage movement. And it kind of boggled my mind when all I would see was white women crying all around the room. So basically that was an event, women, older black women and old white cat ladies. So think about that. The party has moved on, and they want us to continue to move on with it, but we can't do that. We can't do that. Top of the morning, there black people yap so much. And yes, I'm going to keep on yapping because black people got a gift to communicate. And if you, Raul Trajara, if you want basically have a comment, go ahead. But like I said, you tuned in too. This is why we are the most talented creatures on this planet. This is why we do rappers. This is why we do what we do. This is what we do. And Monkey Juice, if Trump was on the Titanic, he would be pushing old people out of his way. Well, that remains to be seen. Trump got shot. They shot at him, that man did, but I'm sure whatever he was going through, he made amends with God. But it's not about flesh and blood. And this is what I want people to understand. It is not about flesh and blood. It's powers, principalities, evildoers in high places. And you got to truly understand what's really going on. Kamala Harris is pretty much put out there to be sacrificed, to pretty much be the catalyst to push this country to a place that we don't know nothing about. If you understand the science of Willie Lynch, they basically destroy the man, the alpha males. They get to the woman, and science says once we get the woman inside the house with us, we'll be able to control everything. So now that they got Kamala Harris, and I'm gonna say her name because Kerry Washington last night brought out some kids, and they basically told us to say her name right. And for me, it wasn't a sign of disrespect. I just thought Kamala was Kamala, just like Pama is Pamela. So all of a sudden it's Kamala. Okay, so that's her name now. So as a black yapper, as a black man, so I'm literally trying to get you to understand that there's an option out there. We don't have to support this two-party system. We don't have to support these Republicans and Democrats, because if they're offering us Republicans and Democrats, that's not a choice. And it's pretty much, a mental enslavement, because we have options. We can do what we so choose. And my ancestors, the black yappers, Dr. King, Malcolm X, all of the leaders, gift of gab. So this is what we do. So now we get an opportunity to show both sides that we are not rocking with y'all. We're supporting the third party coalition, because last night, it was no climax. There was no climax. I'm sitting there waiting on the climax, and y'all know what a climax is. And when you get to that point and you feeling like it just didn't happen. So the G talk, what's the option? So a third party. So basically, I'm going back and I'm talking to G talk right now. Now, G talk, if you understand that Bible, if you understand what happened when Jesus came in the book of Matthew, he didn't come to change the scribes of the Pharisees. And if you understand, the scribes are the liberals of today, the writers, the lawyers, the journalists. The Pharisees are your hypocritical evangelical Christians, your religious leaders of today. So Jesus said he didn't come to change the scribes or the Pharisees. He came to fulfill. So Jesus left us a spot. So in this election, the third party, and we're building a coalition, and it's getting stronger and stronger on a daily basis. Stronger and stronger. The third party option is the right end of our Lord Jesus Christ. He's not going to win. He's not going to place, but he's going to show. And on election day, we're going to show the world that we love this country, love the Constitution, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, and we love our God first. So this is our opportunity to break the cycle, to align ourselves as nonpartisan independents, so we can actually do what every other race, creed, or culture is doing in this world. Okay, and that's to basically align ourselves as nonpartisan independents, and whoever is in office, we will fight for the rights of our people, fight for the rights of all humanity, and this is how we make change. G-Talk, how is it that the black race is the only race, creed, or culture in these United States that does not have a consulate? I'll wait. How is it that the black race here in these United States don't have their own republic, that don't have their own, situation or system? We was hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, and this is why we're running amok right now, because they have literally indoctrinated us into their party, indoctrinated us to their system, and basically use us as a catalyst to basically coon and pander every 4 years for us to get a vote. Look at the vice presidential selection. His name is Tim Walz from a small town in the state of Nebraska. The man said that his town is only 400 people. Okay, he's a vice president of the Democratic, and his graduating class was only 29 people. Okay, and then he's the governor of the state of Minnesota, which is the whitest state in the union, because according to the 2023-2024 in the state of Minnesota, you're talking about 77% white. And then you have his son. Okay, he have a son with special needs. Okay, nothing wrong with that. And then his daughter was created in a petri dish. Okay, because he talked about his having a IVF because he could not get his wife pregnant. So if you did not know what IVF is, in vitro fertilization, and if you are old, you understand what it was in our day, and that ain't nothing but a test tube baby. And then this man himself has signed an executive action to basically have no term limits on abortion. So he has no term limit on abortion, which means in the test you can abort, you can pull a baby out and the heart's beating. Okay, his daughter is test tube baby born, created in a petri dish, and his son is special needs. So what a perfect individual to put to basically work for the Democratic Party, to move far past from rare and common folk. And then the presidential elector, which is Kamala Harris, she is basically will be Asian American candidate. I don't believe she'll win. She's not going to win, no matter what they say. But what I'm saying is she's not going to be the first black woman, or not even the first woman. They're basically saying Asian American. So what a perfect situation to pick for the Democratic Party. And then think about all the sisters. Think about all the, the sisters that fought for the Crown Act, sisters that people like Kamala Harris back on school days, the AKAs called the jigaboo. Think about that. You know what I'm saying? Where these sisters at with the dreadlocks and the braids and all of that? Kamala Harris up there wearing a pantsuit, with her husband, Doug, with his weird kids. His daughter was on age saying, my father, so it's like they found the best two individuals to progressively move the Democratic Party in a direction they wasn't supposed to move to. The Democratic Party, with its inclusion, was supposed to be, our party, but somehow some blacks are abandoning the party by the droves. Think about that. And they put in Tim Walz to basically resonate to the small town white folks, to see all of these white folks crying, watching this Asian American on stage. And then they don't even bring in the blended family. because she does have an Indian sister who has a black husband. They do have biracial kids and black kids in the family. She basically told the story that her mother raided, and when she was in Oakland, she stayed in the flats, and she neighbors, and she called these people friends and family that was not blood related to her, and they literally taught her the culture. But somehow they taught her the culture. The culture's not in her, but somehow these opportunities have been created so she could become who she is. And now all of a sudden we have a bedwenching concubine running for the president of the United States. And the bedwenching concubine is what they did. They brought in the slaves, and Massa had his way with her. And think about biracial kids. Massa had daughters too. And think about that. And if you did not know, her father, Donald J. Harris, crazy, Donald J. Trump, Donald J. Harris. If you Google him and look him up, he is what you call a global economist and a renowned Marxist. So they say you are what your father is. So you're talking about her father's renowned Marxist. So think things going on, and we're going to have to sacrifice our vote. And if you're still on the G Talk, we're basically putting the over our doors back in the days of Egypt. So when family come by, it passed household, because we are choosing God over mankind. Because when you look at the word, it says it's not about flesh and blood. It's about powers and principalities, evildoers. So every time when they talk about Trump, and they have all these women talking Trump, getting us to be mad about flesh. But you got to understand, normal people get hated on too. Normal people, go through situations and, have to deal with people throwing stones and lies and things on us. When you talk about, these situations, you got to be honest with yourself. And when Barack Obama spoke on Tuesday, and that pretty much was the peak, because Michelle Obama spoke, and then Obama spoke at the DNC 2024. Obama basically said, when you start throwing stones and start demonizing either side, he said, normal folk tune out. So appealing to the normal folk that's pulling out, because we don't want to be caught in between these two rivaling tribes. And my program's in the hood, and I was talking to some youngsters, and I was basically telling them, associating metaphorically, how the Republican Party and the Democratic Party is no different than Crips and Bloods. And said, I don't want to gang bang, Mr. Glover. And I'm saying, see, and this is how I feel. And that's the message that I'm putting out, because I don't want to gang bang, be a Republican or a Democrat. Because if you're a Democrat, you are forced to hate a Republican. You are forced to hate the rich. You are forced to hate white people. But then if you are Republican, you are forced to hate, it's a civil war. It's a civil war. And if you be honest with yourselves, America is a constitutional republic, to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God. It's a constitutional republic. It's not a democracy. So on November 5th of 2024, democracy will die. Okay. And for our lifetimes, we're going to have an opportunity to deliver ourselves from the party, to basically have cohesive conversation with whoever wins, whoever wins the election at partisan independence. And on election day, they're going to say whatever percentile pull with the Jesus Christ write-in, they're going to say, who are these people? And we're going to have screenshots on our phone that we wrote in our Lord and Savior, and that's going to be our ticket into the Oval Office to sit and talk with the sitting president, so they could sign an executive action for a constitutional amendment of the 13th Amendment to abolish the criminalization clause, which is a modern day slavery clause. There's no difference from slavery. There's no difference from slavery to the black codes in terms of Reconstruction, the 94 crime bill. It's all mass incarceration. It's all mass incarceration. It is what it is. And I love these trolls, because these trolls are basically showing you what democracy is. You got to throw stones, because we're educated over here. We know what we're talking about. And if you can't debate, or if you can't have a conversation, or if you can't put in a question that would resonate, that will get a cohesive answer, then you're basically showing, you know, you're ignorant. So I don't even know who this guy's name is, but he's definitely forced into his pillow before you go to bed. Nah, I just moved the cover back and let it out, you know, wave it and put the cover back on. That was just for you. You know, dumb, you know, translates to dumb. So I dumbed it down for you, dummy. So with that being said, what it is, you know, it's time to, you know, rise to the occasion. And this is the key. And I'm gonna leave you with this. A lot of times when you're in situations, you get pushed out, and they think that they black man out of the Democratic Party, because if it wasn't for the black man and the black community, the Democratic Party wouldn't be what it is today. And if it wasn't for the black man, America would not be what it is today, because we have a 400-year history and a 400 documentation of the black man building this country. So now the descendants are here, just like Dr. King said that they was going to go to Washington to get their check before he was assassinated. So we gonna need them checks with interest, but we do deliver ourselves from this two-party system and deliver ourselves from the Democratic Party, okay? And this is what it is. So we have to really understand what's going on. So this is our moment in time and our moment in history to pledge, you know, make our ancestors smile, okay, to do what is right. So when the party says that they're, you know, we're not going back, they wanna go far away from the truth. And we want to go back, you know what I'm saying, because we have unfulfilled business and some promises back there that Dr. King said America has defaulted on this promissory note. And it goes back to 1865 when Abraham put away $8 million and put it into the Freedmen's Bank. So if you do the math on 2% interest from 1865, you're talking about close to 300 millions of dollars, and there's only roughly 50 million black. So we'll be able to share the wealth with regular folk, with the working class, with the middle class, but we cannot be attached to any political party to get anything done. So that's the play. This is what we're doing. Hit them likes, notifications, and we're going to continue to go up. I just happened to be in the field today. I had a meeting that I was early for, so I wanted to be consistent and have this conversation. But next week, man, we're going to be uploading videos and on the Labor Day, pray for us. We're going to be launching the platform, and we're going to, you know, be working on Patreon. I'm listening to you guys. More than one person has said that. We're going to be working on subscriptions, because clearly we need to have these sidebar conversations, because real revolution will not be televised, but we're going to expose what's really going on. So with that being said, y'all have an amazing day. I appreciate y'all in the comments, man. And like I said, and all of a sudden the troll said, I've been trying to contact you about car insurance. Okay, I'm good, bro. I'm good, and I appreciate that. But next time, man, come a little correct, because you seemed a little weird, bro. So with that being said, man, you have a great day. This your man, Bushan Glover, Better Black America TV. Thanks for tuning in, and peace out.